Everything Caitlin Clark touches turns to gold, and there's been an increase in demand for her trading cards heading into March Madness. PSA President Ryan Hoge hops on with us to talk about the rise in the Caitlin Clark card craze. I don't know why I put that in there. Try saying that 5 times fast, Ryan, but thanks for hopping on with this. I got to know, man, because Caitlin Clark has been on an absolute tear this season, breaking records. What were the prices of her cards trading at before the record was broken compared to after?
No, it's real interesting. Thanks for having me on, Brandon. So, yeah, I first started paying attention to Caitlin last year during March Madness and her run into the finals with the Hawkeyes, and was just blown away by her abilities. And then you saw a couple of mainline kind of NIL product releases come out in 2023 under the Bowman brand. We had the Bowman Chrome U and the Bowman's Best U that had regular cards and autograph cards of her that every single month we've just seen increased interest along with the prices rising. Over the last year, we've seen about a 3,000% increase in Caitlin Clark cards being submitted to PSA for grading and authentication.
And it's wild because not only did she break the women's record, she broke the overall men's, boys, dogs, cats, all that. Pete Maravich held that record for a long time. How much does a Pete Maravich card trade for?
Oh man, well, so Pete Maravich has a 1970 Topps card that I believe there's only 2 PSA 10s, and one of those did sell for a pretty high price recently, north of $500,000. But hey, Caitlin Clark with her brand new card, that it was a 2022 Bowman University Chrome, her one of one, what's called a Superfractor autograph card, sold for $78,000 back in January, which is a record for a women's basketball card. So she is hot on his tails in the trading card secondary prices space, as well as his scoring record.
Yeah, and Pete played 50 years ago. So imagine what a Caitlin Clark card is going to be appreciated at or valued at in 50-something years. I don't think anyone's going to touch that record, both men's and women's. She shoots from the logo, Ryan. She shoots from the logo. I have utmost respect for her. So she's got all types of titles, all types of accolades and records, but how much do you think the card value will go up if she adds a national title to her resume?
You know, it can only help. It can only help. I mean, she has been building fans the last couple years, and we've seen the momentum build as she got close to breaking Maravich's record, to actually passing it. Prices have ticked up. We've seen submission volume tick up. So it can only be a good thing. So I'm going to be rooting for her for sure.
Yeah, yesterday's price is not today's price. Single-handedly, she pretty much beat South Carolina last year. So I want to see what she does this year. And again, if she could put a national championship on that resume along with scoring record leader, then I think she's going to go down as one of the GOATs of our time, of our generation in basketball, both men's and women. Are there any other women's college basketball players whose cards come close to trading for how much Caitlin's goes for?
No, I mean, if you look back, Sabrina Ionescu, some of her cards have traded for a decent amount the last few years, but Caitlin's at another level right now. And there's other folks like Sue Bird that have had some interest. I used to live up in the Seattle area, so I'm a Seattle Storm fan and know Sue Bird. But this is a whole nother level. And so I think, and you've got another crop. There's like Angel Reese who's coming up as well. So you've got some very desirable, popular players that are doing things that have never been seen before on the court. And then I think the fact that you're starting to see these NIL cards made in recent years from Topps is only helping add more fuel to it, because these didn't exist, 5, 6, 7 years ago.
And what's crazy is that she still has another year of eligibility left, but she did announce that she was going to take her talents to the WNBA. Do you feel like the fact that she's going pro, does that add value to her cards, or would one more year of eligibility or college be better for her?
I don't see what else she could accomplish in college, especially if she's able to kind of pull down a title this year.
Yep.
There's a lot of collectors out there that prefer pro cards. And so her first WNBA cards, depending on, what team ends up drafting her, I think they're going to be highly desirable. And Panini, which manufactures the WNBA cards, has some very popular product releases on the NBA side, and I wouldn't be shocked if they maybe bring some of those product lines to the WNBA category as well with her coming into the league.
Well, she's projected to go first overall in the WNBA draft to the Indiana Fever. They would probably have to have some sort of fever not to pick her or select her first overall. How much do you think, or how much would you project her pro rookie card to be valued at?
You know, it depends. There's some parallels in other sports where there can be a frenzy around these new athletes and new stars kind of coming into the league. Just this week, Connor Bedard's first real rookie card, the phenom for the Chicago Blackhawks, got released. They're already selling on the secondary market for north of $1,000. Victor Wembanyama is another good example, kind of around that $1,000 level, depending on the specific card that you get, and if it's a refractor or a serial numbered one. I could see Caitlin putting up numbers like that, and then for her really rare ones that are low serial numbered, say 50 or less, sky's the limit for what collectors are going to be willing to pay up for those.
Ryan, I read your bio before this interview, and you've been trading and collecting cards since you were a kid. I mean, take us back to when you were young Ryan. Could you kind of foresee a woman's college basketball player's card valued at so much?
You know, back when I was a kid in the late 80s, early 90s, we had no WNBA, so no, I couldn't even have fathomed it. But now as a dad to two girls in my 40s, I love it. I love seeing it. I got two girl athletes, and they're interested in women's sports. They love following these players, and they love being able to collect the cards of the stars that they like. So I think it's a great thing all in all for the hobby.
Yeah, she's doing great things on the field, but off the court as well. She is a role model to a lot of those young girls out there. And Ryan, thanks for hopping on with us and sharing some back in my day stories with me as well, my man.
Absolutely. Thanks, Brandon.